Hey guys, this is your girl Truly Camellia here, and thanks for watching me and listening to my story. Like I said, I wanted to tell my story because I want to help anybody out there that's going through depression, or maybe going through social anxiety. Before I start, I don't claim to be a doctor or any kind of mental health disorder physician or anything like that. But I'm just going to talk to you guys about my experiences and, what helped me get through depression, what helped me get through social anxiety. So I want to give you guys the definition of depression and give you guys the definition of social anxiety. And my cover here, I got this on Amazon actually for, I think it was only like $5. So I love owls. So depression is a depressed feeling can be a normal reaction to a loss, life struggles, or an injured self-esteem. Okay? But when feelings of intense sadness, including feeling helpless, hopeless, and worthless, last for many days to weeks, and keep you from functioning normally, your depression may be something more than sadness. And so that's what I said, sometimes it can lead into social anxiety, and I'm going to show you guys get the definition of social anxiety here. Can be defined as nervousness in social situations. Some disorders associated with social anxiety spectrum include anxiety disorders, mood disorders, autism, eating disorders, and substance use disorders. Individuals higher in social anxiety avert their gazes, show fewer facial expressions, and show difficulty with initiating and maintaining conversations. Trait social anxiety, the stable tendency to experience this nervousness, can be distinguished from state anxiety, the monetary response to a particular social stimulus. Nearly 90% of individuals report feeling a form of social anxiety like shyness at some point in their lives. Half of these individuals with any social fears meet criteria for social anxiety disorder. The function of social anxiety is to increase arousal and attention to social interaction. I don't want to get social anxiety and depression confused with shyness and introvert, a person being an introvert, because naturally, I'm an introvert. Naturally, I'm a little shy, when it comes to meeting new people. If I already know you, I can talk your head off. That's why sometimes I be blabbering on truly in social situations. I am an introvert. So, but just from growing up, guys, like I said, I've always been naturally an introvert. Ever since I can remember, from probably the age of, I don't know, my first memory, maybe 3, to probably about 8 or 9, I was always an outspoken person. I was always opinionated, very opinionated. And I was always, in grade school, I was always really, really smart. But for some reason, I think my self-esteem at this age got a little tampered with. Me and my mother, and no disrespect to my mother, I love my mother so much. Growing up between the ages of 8 and maybe, I don't know, I would say to my early 20s or maybe my middle 20s, is when I started having feelings of depression and social anxiety. I was depressed a lot, as a 8 or 9-year-old, girl. There were some things that I wanted to do. Me and my mother, I'm a little bit more bubbly, even though I am shy, I'm kind of bubbly. And when I get to know people, I really gain really, really good friendships, and I'm a very loyal person, and I don't like being around a lot of people, but I enjoy conversation. I do enjoy good conversation. My mother is very on the outside. She's very direct. Okay, she's a direct, very person. Intimidating. If you don't know her, if you're just meeting her, she can be really, really intimidating. She doesn't give off that warm feel, and so we are total opposite in the fact that my mom, she's aggressive too. She has that aggressive type personality, whereas myself, but my mom, she's hard on the outside and very, very soft on the inside, which means she's very loving. She's very compassionate. She has a lot of passion, for those that she loves, and like I said, but on the outside, before you get to meet her, she's very hard. As for me, I'm opposite. I'm very loving and warming. When you first meet me, you're like, oh my gosh, she seems so nice. But then it's like, if you do something to me, I can become very, very hard on the inside to where I'm very unemotional. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Okay, I don't know, for some reason, that's just my personality. So my mom, on the outside, she is hard, and on the inside, she's soft. Me, on the outside, I'm soft, but on the inside, I am hard. Okay, so, but that's the analogy of me growing up. So me and my mom, we would clash a lot. Like my personality and her personality would clash growing up. And I think that kind of led to my depression and my self-esteem being a little tampered growing up. And it kind of led to me, being very, very, very shy. Just always wanted to be by myself, not wanting to be around people, especially when I was, I could be very moody too. So if I did not feel like being around you, then you pretty much was not going to see me. Okay, you was not want to talk, just things like that. Kind of weird. Everybody, like my family thought, my outside family, my extended family thought that I was kind of weird. But, internally, I just had some things going on with me. Like I said, from the age of 8, probably even to like 25, I had some things internally going on with me, which led me to have social anxiety. I didn't like going to family gatherings. I didn't like hanging out with my friends. I mean, every once in a while. It's not like I was, what's those things? A hermit? I don't know what a female hermit is, but I guess a female hermit is called a female hermit. But, I could be one of those, but not all the time. In my middle 20s, I was going through a really, really hard time. And I was unemployed, dealing with finances and things like that. And I'm one of those, sometimes I can be a prideful person. And my parents didn't know what was going on with me. I had my own apartment, had my own place, car, school, loans, just all this whole bunch of stuff going on. And, I felt like I had a nervous breakdown. Like, honestly, I felt like I had a nervous breakdown. And I feel like, I am not a religious person, but I have a relationship with the Lord. And, I did pray. I prayed to God because at this time I felt like I said, I had school loans, I had my finances, and I was in a relationship. I was in a really, really terrible, really, really bad relationship that I thought was going a certain way, and it really wasn't going that way. I was engaged to this person twice, thought I was getting married, and he basically, he basically twice kind of like canceled the wedding and married, somebody else. So that was kind of also one thing that led to my depression and my social anxiety. And it was funny because I was talking, actually, after all this happened, I was talking to a guy, just a friend, wasn't anybody, he was just a friend, and I was unemployed. And I was just talking to him, and I was telling him that, this whole week, Monday through like the next Monday, I had been in the house. I did not go outside, nothing. I had been in the house the whole time. I didn't take a step outside. I didn't go anywhere in my car. I stayed in the house the whole week. And I thought it was normal. Like, thought, I was like, yeah, I've been in the house the whole week. And he's like, Camelia, that is not normal. I'm like, what you talking about? Like, he was like, you haven't been outside all week, like Monday through Monday, you have not been outside. I'm like, no. And he was like, is something going on? Do you need to? And I'm like, no. But at that time, I thought it was just normal, because my feelings and everything had just gotten so numb. Like, I was numb to pretty much everything. Like, people would call me, I wouldn't answer the phone. People didn't know what was going on in my life. I would talk to my parents probably every once in a while. So they didn't really know, but like my close friends, they're like, what is going on with you? What's going on? And so one day, like I said, I felt like I had a mini nervous breakdown, and I just got before my knees. I prayed, and I asked God to just take this away from me. I know He couldn't. My problems naturally wasn't going away, but just take this feeling of depression, take this feeling of social anxiety away, and He did. And I was really, really happy, when that happened. Things in my life just started changing. My life just started turning around when I just gave all of my problems, gave even my depression and my social anxiety, I gave to God. And I wasn't at the point where I wanted to kill myself. When you get to that point, you definitely need to seek medical attention. But I had all these bad habits, and some of the habits I'm still dealing with, like, I think through that depression and also when I got a job and I was able to start paying my rent and all that stuff, my job was stressful. And, that led me to, I had an eating disorder, which, I really have to be careful because I feel like I still have it. Because my eating is really, really like, your girl can eat. I'm just telling you, your girl can eat. So it's something that I feel like I have to deal with for the rest of my life. And I have to just fight. I really have to fight and just create different habits because that eating disorder led to me gaining a lot of weight, which I'm trying to still lose. If you guys are watching my weight loss journey, but I'm trying to still lose because I've gained in the past 8 years, I want to say I've gained like 80 or 90 pounds, and that's not healthy. So we have things, I think everybody, for the most part, I think everybody gets depressed at some point. But like I was telling you guys in the definition, if it's more than a week or more than 2, then I feel like you really need to talk to somebody. You really need to try and get that taken care of, because if you don't, it's just going to continue to grow and grow and grow, and there's you might go down the path of trying to commit suicide or trying to harm yourself or trying to harm anyone else. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Now me and my mother are like the best of friends. Me and my mom, we are tight, so there's no I love my mother. I love my mother. But, a lot of kids can't say that. A lot of kids who was mistreated by their parents growing up, they still, have some kind of chip on their shoulder or whatever. But, I chose to forgive. My mother, she also, when I got older, I want to say, I don't think I was 20 yet, but, she did ask me. She was like, hey, can you forgive me for treating you the way I treated you? And that, I felt like that kind of was a release as well. I felt like that was a release, and that was a step in the right direction. So what I want to take away, guys, is, like I said, if you are having depressive thoughts, if you're sad, if you just need, someone to talk to, you can send me a message. I understand what you are going through. It takes, it really takes a lot to get out of it. Like I said, I think everyone goes through depression, every once in a while. But if you are severely depressed and going through social anxiety, then you need to seek help. Okay? You need to seek help. And I feel like it's going on a lot with teenagers nowadays. There was a child here in Texas who committed suicide over social media. So parents, please watch your kids and monitor, what's going on. Make sure you're monitoring your children and their media, because that's something that's terrible. That is terrible. I'm hearing more and more about it too. So anyway, guys, I hope I didn't mean to ramble in this video, but I just wanted to, I felt like this is something that I need to put out there for people to hear. And if it's something that you had to deal with, you're not alone. I feel like everybody, like I said, I feel like everybody goes through depression once in a while. But if it's longer than like a week, then please seek help. Talk to somebody, get help. Thanks guys for viewing my video, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm also going to leave some numbers down in the description box. If you are going through depression, call those numbers. They're anonymous, but there will be professional help, somebody for you to talk to and tell your story to. So later, bye bye.